Hello, everyone. This is our 40th podcast, and it's only going to be me and Joe here. I'm Ron, and we'll promise to be back with more guys next week, hopefully. But for now, due to popular request, I could say, I guess, people have been asking where the podcast has been. Yeah, we've just been very busy, and kind of finding the time to do it has been the hardest part. But not a problem. We'll do it. I promise to start doing it now, even if it's only one of us or two of us, just as it is right now in the room. Because there's too many things going on in the modding world not to have the podcast. And obviously, the one of the biggest one is the Thermaltake season one season two. Is it now season two for 2016?
It's is it season 2? I believe season 1.
Well, season one was they had the okay. It is season one of the 2016, so they have a new season every year.
They do a weird thing. They don't just continue the season like TV shows where it's like season 1, season 2, season 3. It's they start over a new season every year.
Yeah, they seem to have a I don't know. It seems to be a constant thing now. Where I thought it was just going to be like a one-off thing. And they did the second one, the second half of the year, and then now they have a third one. They announced it pretty fast too, and it was now this one they have. Let me see who they have on these. Who do they have on this season so far?
Peter Brands that we know about. So that's I believe a total of 9 or 10 guys. So the more popular ones, the ones that are known, you have Ali Abbas. People know Corey Gregory under I'm Face Roll, and then you have Daniel. If I butcher any of these names, I apologize in advance, because I more than likely will. You have Daniel Bolognesi from Italy, Twister 7800. Let's see, the other member of Watermod.
Lauren Petipas, yeah.
Yep.
So they got basically 11 guys from all over the world. And this time, who's representing the U.S.? Because they had last year, they had last season rather, they had Brian Carter and they had Ron Lee Christensen.
This year for the U.S., it's Kurt Schuff,
and he's I think he's a regular for Northwest area as well, where regular in PDX line. Well, he's wearing the PDX line beanie right there, so definitely he's representing the Northwest. And I'm not familiar with his mods. I don't know if you've seen any of his mods.
I'm not. I'm actually not familiar with him.
I think he did. I'm trying to recall. I think he did one for the most recent charity event as well. They did a team. There were 5 teams at PDX Line, and they did one of those. And also we got also a couple of new guys here I haven't seen before. Ice Wolf Chen from China and Bu Duc Tam from Vietnam. And I think the Ice Wolf Chen should just win just for the name. I guess that's the coolest name there. We should get bonus point for that. I haven't seen their works yet, but that's pretty interesting because I know that the modding in Vietnam and China and Malaysia and Philippines, Thailand, that area right there has a large concentration of modders that we, due to obviously because of the language barrier, we haven't seen. Not many people here on our side of the pond kind of get to see what they build. So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I know they have like their own modding is very big in those areas, and it's just like you said, the language barrier. But they have like their own kind of closed circuit competitions.
Now I'm assuming that the rules are going to be the same, where they have they're going to be working on Cooler Master items.
Thermaltake.
Yeah, Thermaltake rather. I'm sorry, Thermaltake. Thermaltake's not watching this.
Too many competitions in the air.
Too many. Definitely.
I think, so the difference is, from what I've seen, I saw Peter Brands. He posted up some stuff. I think they're instead of using the X9 chassis, which is that really large, it's like 2.5 feet by a foot and a half by a foot and a half. It's a big case. It's borderline a storage unit. They're using their new the Core P5, which is the kind of like I want to say it's almost like a multimedia PC.
It's the wall mount one. Yeah, the wall mount that also doubles as a sort of a kind of center table for the living room.
I guess it could be a test bench as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of covers a lot of bases.
Now,
But
the Core P5, is that a full tower? Is that what in terms of size
that
compared
is
to the X9?
considered it supports a full ATX motherboard. It's got kind of a weird bracket going where you can have the video cards either vertical or horizontal. If you use the bracket, then they have to be horizontal. So they'll actually like pop out, and then you just stack them so you can actually see like what's in your water blocks. And well, hopefully there's nothing in your water blocks, but you can see like the fluid going through. Because normally, the way it's orientated, you have the video card, and then you don't actually get to see the water going through. You just kind of see maybe a nickel plated or a copper plate.
Now, looking at this roster right here, is there any favorites that are popping up for you? I know you got some of your favorites here.
Daniel,
Daniel from Italy.
some of the
I've
mods
seen.
he's done,
Yeah,
he's he's most noted. He does a very clean aesthetic. His kind of everyone's got like their signature thing they do with and their mods. It's
I think I got some photos here. Let me just pop this out.
he's also known as Twister 7800. Like I said just a little bit ago, he'll do like a water distribution plate in the center of all his mods. His
Yeah, like
most
this
recent one
one.
that was in the Corsair 780T. It's got like a floating reservoir and a floating motherboard. Basically, everything looks like it's floating. Very cleanly done.
And I know
Uh,
he's won the BitTech Mod of the Year, either 2012 or 2013. I can't remember which year, but this is the exact thing you were talking about, the mid plate right there. And this was about 3 years ago. And you see a lot of modders trying to kind of emulate his style, starting with this one. And not
he
many were.
was he was the first one I saw really do the water distribution plates.
Yeah, not many were doing this at all about 3 years ago.
No, Brian Carter did do it a while back in his Trident mod.
Oh yeah, the one
Um,
with the reservoir. Was it at the top? With a thin reservoir at the top?
well, he had he had three reservoirs up front, and then he had his mid plate was a water distribution plate, but that was for three different water cooling loops.
So this one is the 800D for from Daniel from Italy. Yeah, definitely. It looks pretty sick. And does he continuously still do mods, or is he coming out of retirement, or?
He still does mods. He did just the other day. He did the 78. I say the other day. It was I believe late 2015 that he did it. Let me go ahead and pull it up. It's a very impressive system where it's very simple, but it speaks volumes. You can tell he's very very anal about the way things are done. Very clean aesthetic. What's there is there because it serves a purpose. It's not just because he wanted it there or
Yeah.
because he thought it would look cool.
I mean, these cables are pretty clean. I don't know if he did his own cables, but
I
that's
think
kind
he
of
does all his own stuff.
that's one of the markers right there of a very very clean build. Right, is a clean cable. I know you're very peculiar about that since you do a lot of the high end sleeving jobs.
It's fun times, but yeah, a lot of people they'll usually farm out their work for higher end builds like that, but I believe he does his own work.
I mean, a lot of actually that's the number one complaint that we hear from a lot of modders is that sometimes they love modding, they love thinking up of ideas, but they hate sleeving. I know you've probably heard that yourself.
So many times.
I think I've talked to who did we meet at Thermaltake at the Thermaltake suite at CES earlier this year. We meet Matthew Heredia from Watermod, and he said yeah he really hates sleeving, and I think Rod Rosenberg also said the same thing from BS
Yep.
Mods.
Uh, they uh, they voice their opinion very very firmly, but you know what? It is very tedious. It's not something you can just do in maybe 30 minutes. It takes hours to do. But yeah, Daniel's actually he's been pretty active here lately. He's been doing a bunch of modding workshops in Italy. So I think we'll be seeing more from him here soon.
Let's go over some more of these guys. You got Ali Abbas. I got a photo right here. He is an award winner. He's like, I don't just say that like he won one or two awards. He's probably had about a dozen or more awards. He's a staple at DCMM Germany. He's also one of these modders who does a lot of hand crafting. He doesn't use CNC or laser cutting as often. I don't know if you've ever used one of his mods, but he's a very conceptual guy too. This was his Vikings mod that he did for DCMM earlier this year, and he's entering it on the Cooler Master event currently, I think. So it'll be interesting what he comes up with.
Has he done a Dark Knight themed one?
Yes, he did that one. That was, I think, one of his first one that kind of got him noticed over here. He did the largest mouse ever in the world. I think he holds the world record for that. He made one that's like the size of a desk. Largest fully functioning mouse.
Jesus.
And he also has one that's like a samurai themed desk, I think, or case that's similar to this one, but has the sort of a more Asian theme. And that's one of my more favorite case mods he has done. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with a Cooler Master case. And he competes regularly. He's not one of these guys who just kind of just does it for show, like do it once a year kind of thing. He is really down with it to kind of rumble. And there's also a whole bunch of guys here. You got Mike Veterans. He's from Belgium. You've seen his Isus mod.
Yep.
He did that.
He's been showing off his 3D printer here lately. He's been making some custom fan grills.
And of course, we got Ronnie Hare, who's a staple with a lot of. I think he did he did a GTR mod. I think Cooler Master event. He entered that one.
There's a blue is one of the builds before it really started picking up was the chrome piping.
Yeah, and he did. I don't know when did that start popping up? When did people start using that one? Because I've been seeing him use that for a long time now.
Chrome piping really started popping around with Murder Box. Yeah. Charles Hartwood was one of the first guys that was bending the chrome piping, or he would bend copper piping and then he would get it plated, and that was kind of like the tier for like system to $20,000 system.
And that's speaking of piping. You've seen Peter Brands, obviously known for his for lap desk, and also his most recent one was the pipe. What do we call it? Was it a lip pipe? I have a photo right here.
It was the modding trophy.
This one is a lip pipe build, which is basically he's incorporating that kind of the chrome piping and liquid cooling, hard tubing into sort of it almost looks like a wet bench, but it's interesting about it is that the actual cooling part of it sort of makes up the structure for it. You can see the front and the back panels are the radiators.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool build. I don't know when he did this one. I think this was this year, or was it 2015?
So he did one that you can see it's got the 4 reservoirs at each corner. His newest one he did was in the in-wind D-frame, and that was the modding trophy. That was actually the first build that I've seen where he actually bent the tubing. Before he would just use adapters.
Oh, nice. Definitely going to be an interesting match with these guys hitting on. And there's also the remaining guys there. We got, since obviously we haven't seen Boy Duck Tam and Icewolf Chen's work yet. And Corey Gregory from I'm Facial Gaming. I don't know if you got some. I think he did also a desk similar to Peter Brand's stuff.
He's I believe 2 desks. He sticks mostly to Instagram. But his build style tends to be like completely over the top. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just you look at it like, oh, that looks good. I would never overbuild something like that though.
Yeah, it looks like his just looking at this build, a triple monitor desk there. Looks like his budget is way up there.
Which says something considering the Australian dollar isn't worth too much right now.
Oh yeah, they're probably paying top dollar. I know they're paying probably almost twice as much for the 980 Ti's or something like that because, well, they they have to import them, right? Even though it's closer to them, coming from Asia, they still have to pay because the exchange rate and the population and kind of the distribution in Australia costs a lot of money. And we got also Adam Braithwaite from England. I have to admit I haven't seen his work. Maybe he goes by another name that's more familiar. I'm not sure if you've seen his work.
I have not. Oh, he's Darwin PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's
That
fun.
makes more sense. Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. And the last one, we had the second half of Watermod. We got Laurent Petitpas. Like we mentioned earlier, we met his partner, one of his partners, Matthew, at CES earlier this year, and Laurent also does a lot of the. I think he did this one. Let me just pull it up. This was one of the first things I saw where I kind of took notice of them because he was using a leather kind of a leather texture here with a gold. I think this was entered in the Cooler Master event, if it placed, or it was just for a client maybe. But they do a lot of that kind of a high end clean look. We got I think there's also one of theirs. See, this one's pretty simple like that, but you see a lot of the kind of the solid design ideas that they put in. Even though, unlike other builds where it's clean, but it doesn't have sort of that personality. But this one, you can see that it's very original.
Yes, he is from Darwin PC. They are most known for the Iberus system, which was the purple, black, and silver colored system.
Oh, that's you're talking about Adam Braithwaite here.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. The only caveat to having kind of an online alias is if you don't actually let people know your name, they may not know who you are, even though they know your work.
Let me just pull up his Facebook page here. Well, actually, this is the. Let me see if we got. Do you have his a photo of his work right there? You just share it on the screen. There you go. You just click on that link. Another guy who does a lot of clean work. So we definitely got a whole bunch of different styles here, not just the same ones.
Well, last year it seemed to be more of the abstract work that was, or not. Well, yeah, it would have been last year as well, but last season for the Thermaltake mod competition, it was the people that run it. They weren't your traditional type modders. They would do something that was more outside of the box. This year, it seems that we have a lot of people that are known for a clean aesthetic. So bringing that in this year, that'll be interesting to see, especially with the Core P5, if that is the case they're using.
Yeah.
Because that one, I mean, you don't have anywhere to really hide anything. I think the frame itself is maybe about 2 inches wide. That's where all the cables and stuff go in.
And they also have the MFC Championship, which is basically facing off of the first season and the second season winners. You got Su Xiao who won the first one, and Jesse who won the most recent one. And we're trying to figure out what they were going to face off as, and I was looking at here. I think they're going to use the same case. There's a Core P5 as well.
I believe so. Thermaltake's really pushing. That's their new signature case is the P5.
We've seen this in person. I think they showed it at QuakeCon last year, and it's bigger than it looks.
Yeah, they had some at CES, and it's a lot bigger of a case than it looks. I mean, when you look at it, it's like, oh, it kind of looks about the size of a monitor. No, it's actually a very large case.
It does lend itself to modding pretty easily. As you can see, you have like a large open area right there, and you have the kind of a modular accessory package there. I think they sell that individually, right? You can upgrade certain parts of it.
You can also 3D print parts. They have that open now as well.
Oh yeah, they launched that program where you can download files and 3D print it.
Yep, and it's not just for the P5. They have it for a bunch of different models, but it's just a place for people to upload. Another place, if you have access to a 3D printer, that you can find computer parts to print. or rather, case accessories would be like Thingiverse. Just, I mean, it's people just sharing their ideas.
And another interesting thing is that there's also that MSI event currently going on, the Batman vs Superman.
Hmm.
It's actually voting stage right now. We've been seeing the mods pop up for the last few years, and people can vote for their favorites, and you get to win prizes. So I didn't realize this was actually an official event that they've actually partnered up with DC and Warner. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I've seen this. Is probably the biggest kind of partner I've seen for a modding event.
I was actually wondering for a while about if they had actually gotten permission, or if MSI was going to get a cease and desist at the last minute of the competition.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about that, and that was definitely interesting because it came out pretty fast too. I didn't expect it because it was just right on the heels of their previous event too, the second season of their most recent CaseMod event as well. Now you're looking at here some of the case mods that are entered here, and these guys are familiar names as well. They were also participants. I think they were selected from the top place winners of the last MSI event.
So this was more of an invitational.
Yeah, I think so. You got these guys who are kind of proven to be top modders. They're all also from around the world. A whole bunch of guys from Thailand and Philippines. Mike there in Italy, Germany. There's no American guys, curiously enough. So definitely need to step up here. American modders need to step up.
We've got a Sander van der Vellen.
Who
Oh, wait,
we interviewed. Let me just close this window. We interviewed, and I have to I have to bust Joe's balls here for a bit because we interviewed him at CES, and we kind of lost the audio.
We didn't lose it. There just wasn't audio.
There was no audio recorded, and that was a long interview. That was about 15 minutes.
It was a good interview too, and then that's why I went ahead and bought an H4n external recorder so I can actually see if the mic is getting power.
That's good. Well, apologize to Sander if he's watching this. So we'll try to interview next time.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, we interviewed him over the Yazi, the starship from Star Wars. The case, I mean, you look at it online, you're like, oh, it looks kind of big. In person, it's huge. Giggity.
Yeah, the Yahtzee Venator class. Did he successfully sell that? I think he was trying to sell it. I don't know if he got a cease and desist from LucasArts or something, but
I think he got permission from Disney.
yeah, because it is a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, there are really two companies you don't mess with as far as like entertainment go. Disney, of course, being one. They're the most known for handing out cease and desist, and the other one is actually Pokemon. They don't play.
Well,
they got to protect all of them.
well, definitely. And speaking of which, we have to announce that we are still going to have our staff versus staff at QuakeCon this year. And I think, let me just read what the theme is this year. What we agreed upon is that the winner of the previous one will be selecting the theme. And Craig won last year with his Doom mod. So he picked, this was from him directly, your favorite game or your favorite memorable item. The title would be Memory Anchors of a Better Time. So it's pretty open in terms of interpretation there. And I know you have an idea already of what you want to do.
I'm jumping back and forth between two. That's from Portal 2 when GLaDOS becomes a potato. Or shouldn't become a potato, they install her onto a potato.
This one right here.
Yeah, the other one is the Soul Cube from Doom 3, which was the tool that you were given. You, like, midway through the game, you plummet into hell and you have to fight this demon, and when you beat the demon, you unlock the Soul Cube, and the Soul Cube is the best weapon against the demon horde. And you have to kill 4 demons in order to activate it, and then it goes, use this. And then you just use it, and it just flies around the environment and kills everything in proximity.
Is there a scale you're looking at you're trying to go for, like a mini ITX,
ITX.
micro ATX, ITX?
Uh, I'm big on ITX.
For me, I'm still gonna stick with the Quake theme. I kind of screwed up my build in the last year, so I gotta redeem myself. This year, everyone is gonna do a scratch build as per the rule stated by Craig. So it's gonna be a scratch build. But what I'm going for is a build that is going to be using old parts that is going to be period specific from 1996, parts that are restricted to what was available for the users when the game came out, which was what, July 96 or June 96. So that restricts me to using a Pentium computer, non-MMX Pentium, so either 75 to Pentium 75 to Pentium 200. As long as it can run Quake, I don't really care. But I'm hunting for parts of those right now, and the hard part is actually finding the motherboard that is within a time period
And
and
working.
a working motherboard that did not leak at all or anything, no damage, and also a video card. Hopefully that can let me run GL Quake, but I'm not hoping for that. I'm just hoping for the basics right now and build. I don't even know the specification of the 8, so I can't even begin my build because I know the AT is different from the ATX.
Well, you're trying to find an intact Dr. Pepper can from 1996.
pretty much, pretty much. But hopefully it'll be worth it, and hopefully it's not too big. If I can find a baby AT case, I think that's the reasonable size. But the regular AT cases, rather AT motherboards were pretty big. They're about the size of an EATX motherboard. So, and I think I found one, but it was like I found some that are. Oh, looks like Joe dropped off. Hopefully, still recording. Oh, there you go. I need to find one that can still works and also can and also the other parts like the EDO RAM and the hard drive, which is about a single digit 1 or 3 GB in size back then. Oh, Joe's cutting in and out. Hopefully, he's here. We're almost done anyway, since it's going to be a 30-minute podcast. Joe, are you still there? Oh, looks like his connection is stalled off. So I'm going to sign off now in behalf of Joe. It's about 30 minutes now. We're going to be doing this week. Try to do it weekly, if as long as there's at least two monitoring members here, since we're trying to organize. And just as a teaser, we're going to have an event very soon for monitors in the U.S. and Canada. We're teaming up with Gigabyte to send you to Computex, you and your CaseMod. So just hold off to that. Check out the site for details. And this is Ron signing off for the podcast. Thanks for watching. See you next week.